Well, being aside for quick reviews was good while it lasted. Unfortunately, I have reverted to my old ways. Welcome back to another quick review. Today we are talking about Supergirl, the second movie in the DCU, and the cause of a lot of discourse, which feels inevitable at this point, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm outside again, as you can hear by the plane flying over me. But yeah, I just got out of this movie about an hour ago, and I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. Overall, if this plane could shut up and go away for a hot second, thank you. Overall, oh my goodness, it's not going away. This movie was fun. I really enjoyed myself. Now, let me give a little bit of context. I have read the comic book. I've read the comic book twice. You can say a lot of things about Tom King. 99% of them are not good, but I think that it is a really good comic. I think it's a really good, really fun comic, right? And it's a beautiful comic. This movie is also really good. I think the biggest thing for me that I was very surprised to see is that it hits a lot of the core plot points, core emotional beats that the original comic book hits, which is surprising because, you know, with a lot of these adaptations, they just kind of pick and choose from different comic books, different the comic books throughout history. But this is like more of a straight adaptation of a specific comic, and it works. There are some things added to this, obviously. Lobo being one of them. But I think for the most part, it's like relatively accurate in regards to story structure. There are some things that are taken out, some fat that is trimmed, which is kind of an issue with this movie. I do think this movie is a little too short for its own good, but for the most part, it hits all those points, it hits all those beats nicely, and I think it works. The script isn't the issue with this movie. It's anybody that is worried about the screenwriter, I can't remember her name for the life of me, writing Teen Titans and Wonder Woman, that'll be fine. The script is not the issue with this. It's not the issue with this movie, right? A lot of my issue with this movie, I think, comes down to direction, you know? It's kind of hard for me to pinpoint certain areas. So like, I can kind of go down a list of like both my pros and cons of this movie, and I think that'd probably be better for this review. Pros, Millie Alcock is perfect as Supergirl. She's great. She's like just genuinely phenomenal as that character, and despite how you feel about the movie itself, I think we can all agree that we are excited to see this character in the future. I think that is a fun character to look at and we get to follow. Jason Momoa as Lobo is definitive casting. There's just nothing you can really say about that. He is great, and the fact that they added him to the movie without bogging the movie down, without bringing that story down, I think was really impressive, and I think that's really cool, and I'm glad that they did that. That is really nice, and I can't wait to see more of Lobo in the future. Superman, David Cornsweet was in more of this movie than I thought he would be, and that is just Superman. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, yeah, that's Superman. That is my goat. All right, that is who that is. That is just Superman. They couldn't have casted that character any better, and I'm excited to see Man of Tomorrow. I think a lot of the action was shot well. I think VFX is a tiny bit of an issue, especially towards the latter half of this movie. I think the VFX could be an issue. It does look wonky at times, but I think ultimately it was still fun. It was like the action, I think, was shot relatively well, and it is for the most part a nice looking movie. There are some things that could have been a little bit better in regards to how the movie looks, and I'm going to get into that right now. Actually, one of my biggest things with this movie, and I said this before it came out, and I still kind of stand by this. I said this movie should be animated, right? Now the whole live action versus animation debate, I could really care less about. I prefer one to the other. I won't say which one that is, just for the sake of not getting in trouble. But I'm more team. So long as the movie is good, I don't care. I do not care. However, in this specific case, I gotta go towards animation. This movie probably should have been animated because I think there's a variety of scenes or a variety of things from that comic book that that comic book is so beautiful. It is so that art is so good that I don't think it. I don't. A lot of that is just not going to translate to live action, and what do you know? It's not in the movie. There's a couple of things that are in live action that are in that comic book that aren't in the movie, in regards to different planets, different animals, different scenes and whatnot. It's really weird and interesting. I still don't think that it's like all bad, but it's still weird. Creme was an interesting this deviation that they made. I think Creme actually I don't hate the deviation as much as I thought I would. I think Creme is an enjoyable villain. I think he is a villain that the audience are going to hate. They make him extremely hateable. Now, did they have to do that while also altering his design a bunch? No, probably not. I still think it's weird. I think part of the appeal of Creme as a villain, even if he's not that great of a villain, like not that expensive of a villain, even in the comics, is the fact that he just looks like a normal dude. He's just a normal dude that does all this. I think that's part of the appeal. But ultimately, I still think Creme was a really fun, while albeit menacing villain in this movie. I wish that this movie leans more towards Ruthie's POV rather than Supergirl. That would have been nice, like the comics. But I think at the same time, I think they also found a relatively good balance between the two characters in regards to telling both of their individual stories that I can't really be mad at, because ultimately people are there for Supergirl, not, Ruthie telling the story. But I think it probably would have ended up a little bit better. The editing, weird editing. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's just weird. There's a lot of things that are just kind of how things are cut and whatnot. It's just weird. I'm not gonna pretend to be a master at editing. I'm not gonna pretend to be a god at this stuff. But ultimately, I can kind of see if I could see it, then it's an issue. But for the most part, it's not terrible. What are some other things that with this movie that I love to find questionable? Oh, yeah, here's a good one. The final needle drop. So I think that this movie is. I think that the music of this movie isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad by any means. And I think a lot of the songs that they use fit the scenes that are in the movie really well. I had gotten info from reviews that final needle drop at the end of the movie during that final fight was horrendous. And so I was like, it can't be that bad. And so I go into that movie theater with my friends. We're watching the movie. We're having a great time. And needle drop happens. It's horrid. It is even worse than I thought it would be. That whoever made that decision's got to be fired. They gotta go. I don't know who made that decision. And I think that kind of boils down, like a lot of this movie boils down to that. As much fun as I had with it, I had a blast sitting in that movie theater. I think that's what I value the most. There are a lot of decisions with the direction of this movie that I find a little bit questionable. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think this movie is as bad as a lot of people are claiming it to be. I think a lot of this absolutely has to do with either misogyny or Snyder bots or whatnot, or just DCU haters in general. Saw the movie. They all saw the movie first for some reason, and it just got, the discourse just got real bad. But ultimately, I actually give this movie like a 7 or 8 out of 10. If you're a comic fan like me and you've read it, there's some things that are going to be disappointing for sure. And that's the thing with most adaptations. A lot of adaptations you're going to find disappointment in, but the general audience is going to really enjoy it, or at least I think they are. The people that I was with that don't enjoy comics, or the very few people that I was with that don't enjoy comics, really enjoyed it. The people that did enjoy comics were disappointed by a couple of things, but also still really enjoyed it. So I don't know. I had a blast with it. I had fun with it. This has been all over the place quick review. It's not even a quick review. This is 10 minutes long. That's what's not supposed to happen. But yeah, that's it. Go see it. I think it was really good. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.